Hi, Mr. Simon. Starting off with the interview, I'm Rylan Terminelli, badge number 420, sergeant with the BCSO. How do you, how do you, how do you say your name? Simon Doofy, correct? Just want to make
Yes, it
sure.
is, yeah.
Okay, Simon, go ahead and start off by telling me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I used to be a police officer in the UK, and sort of just wanted a bit of a change of scenery and everything else. So I know quite a bit about law and how to deal with people and like force can't say the name, can't say the word. Um, like when you have to like step up once in force, and I know when not to do it. But I normally try and diffuse the situation by talking to someone first before pulling out any weapons or anything like that. Because obviously in the UK police we didn't have that, so we had to. Our main weapon was our mouth, so we had to use that as best we could.
Okay. So you're leaving, you've left the UK to come here?
I have indeed, yeah.
Okay. How long you been in the city for?
Um, Probably like a week or so, maybe a little bit longer. So I've sort of got a feel of everything and
Okay.
sort of got to know where some key places are.
Okay, well,
But
welcome.
yeah, thank you very much.
So, tell me, why are you leaving the UK as a Leo, and deciding
Uh,
to become a Leo here?
because I found it it wasn't a challenge for me there anymore. Everyone sort of got to know me quite well and everything else. I never really started off sort of on a level playing field every time I got into a situation. I kept dealing with the same people over and over and over again, and they got to know me quite well. So I don't I don't really like people that I don't work with to know me that well. So I
Okay.
like to keep myself a closed book because that has stung me in the past where someone knew me quite well and they came after me for it. So
Mm, okay. So there being LSPD and BCSO, why are you choosing BCSO specifically?
because I've had with the interactions I've had with the BCSO, um, it has been a lot better than the LSPD. And also I like the North Territory a little bit more than the city. I'm a country bumpkin, as we say back in the UK.
Oh, I see. So here in LS, the LSPD, the state troopers, park rangers, BCSO, we're a unified police force. So the troopers don't only patrol the highways. I mean, I'm sure you see that. We really patrol as a whole unit together. I
One
mean,
organism.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I got you.
Okay. So, you said you've taken a couple ride-alongs as well as you've been here for about a week or so.
Yeah.
What do you know about our office?
Um, I know that you work very meticulously. You don't like to jump the gun, so to speak. So you like to get the whole picture before you get a piece of the puzzle. You like to get all the pieces of the puzzle, then put it all together, and then go from there, which is organized, which is what I like. Um, and yeah, so it's that I like the most. And that you all work, like you said, as a team, no matter who. When I was on that ride along, no matter who was there, LSPD, BCSOs, troopers, rangers, you were all sort of on the same page, which is what I find, which is what I like. Um, and I haven't met one high command sergeant, normal police officer that abuses their power, so to speak, within their own departments. You all sort of listen to each other, which is really good. And I don't, I mean, instead of like, say for instance, if you were to turn around and say you were to do this now, and I would be able to have a well, why can't I do it this way and this way and this way? And then you would give me a reason why I can't, and that's an insight sort of thing. So it's always learning, always listening to your high command and going from there, really.
Okay. So let's say you get accepted into the BCSI. What would your career goals be?
I mean, I've always liked starting off at the bottom. I've never liked to jump anything too fast, too high. But yeah, I can't. I've done the whole. I've been a sergeant and everything over in the in the UK at Scotland Yard and everything, and it was too much responsibility on my shoulders for a young head, so to speak. So yeah, starting off low and slow, so to speak. But yeah, trying to go as high as I can without making too many rookie errors. So I like going slow and making sure I have the whole picture.
Okay. Tell me, tell me what you think your 3 greatest strengths and 3 greatest weaknesses are.
My three. Oh, I'll start off with the weaknesses because they're normally a lot harder to explain than
All
your
right.
strengths. End on a good note as well. My 3 greatest weaknesses are I am too kind to people, which I need to sort of get beaten out of me, which is why I left London. My other greatest weakness is probably my dyslexia. So reading, writing, spelling, I struggle with a little bit. And I've taken many years to learn how to write statements and everything correctly as well as I can. And probably my last weakness would be when I make a stupid mistake, I beat myself up about it, and it sort of lingers over me, and that's probably a weakness of mine. My 3 greatest strengths. No matter what the situation is, I'm level-headed. I think meticulously. Whatever's going on, it doesn't affect me emotionally. I sort of keep myself in the job mind. How dealing with people, I'm quite good with. And last one.
We can only do so much.
Yeah, that's kind of indoor.
Yeah, it's... Okay.
So I'm just trying to think of the one of the last strengths. I can't really think of anything else.
Oh, that's fine. You ain't got to burst the bubble, you know. If you can't think of one, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I just try and take it how I roll, really.
Okay. We'll move on.
Yeah. Oh, and sorry, communication on the radio and communication as a team
Okay.
player sort of thing. That's one of my greatest strengths.
Awesome. Okay. So you say it, sorry, tongue twister. So you're telling me at the beginning that you were a Leo in the UK.
Yeah.
Just tell me what you know about working as a law enforcement officer.
I know that day to day it could be different, minute to minute could be different. You could be dealing with different people, different situations. How you deal with that situations is at the time. No matter how much of experience you have, you can still get thrown in the deep end with things. So you have to be able to think on your feet quite quickly. Especially with the UK, there's obviously violence with weapons have starting to come back in now, and that's something that I was always quite good at diffusing and self-defense and everything else. And yeah.
Okay. So I know you told me a little bit, gave me a little bit of insight on why you left. Any other reasons why you left your last job?
I mean it was literally just a change of scenery. The people I was working with, they found some corrupt people in the UK in the in Scotland Yard and everything, and some of them were on my team, so I got expected that it was part of me, proven that it wasn't. But when something sticks on you that you're a part of a team that was corrupted, then it sort of doesn't leave you. No matter how much I proved, and the judges ruled in my favour, and the chief of police and everything ruled in my favour that I had nothing to do with said thing. Yeah, it was just that sort of tag stuck with me for a while.
Okay.
And yeah, I just wanted to get out and change the scenery, change your life, new start,
Okay.
and hopefully I
So,
can the standard police thing. I hope I can make where I'm working a difference.
okay. Um, let's see. Choose. Go ahead and choose me to give me one or the other. But I would like to know what your greatest responsibility or achievement was.
Taking down a drug cartel back in the UK. I had to go undercover to go and infiltrate a Russian drug gang, and I managed to get hold of the leaders, the second in command, third in command, right hand men, names, date of births, family members. Um, when people talk to me, they see me as an open book because I'm, like I said, one of my weaknesses. It's I'm a little bit friendly sometimes. So obviously people tell me things, and yeah, so I managed to take down a massive drug cartel that was worth about £2 billion, all the way from weed, ecstasy, cannabis, not cannabis, sorry, ecstasy, cocaine, trafficking. I took down a big ring, and managed to keep my name and everything out of the records. Got blacklisted from all the records, so I was safe.
All right.
And when I went to court, it was sort of behind a two-way mirror sort of thing, so I could see it and they couldn't see me. But I gave my statements, and they now serving life in one of the prisons in the UK.
All right. So leaving the UK as a Leo to come to LS and become a Leo, what have you done to prepare yourself?
Talk to people, talk to some of the communities, talk to the police. I've been spreading me around the city, so people have sort of slightly got to know me. I've done some ride-alongs, so I could actually see how you guys operate and everything, and I really like the way you guys operate. So
Okay.
I thought I would apply, and here I am today.
All right. What do you think that you bring to the table that is different from other candidates?
Determination, enthusiasm, quick learning, um, being able to not crack under pressure, and knowing some laws. I know they're a little bit different to US to UK, but knowing a lot of laws have helped me a little bit. So like, I know you guys deal with 10 codes here, but the being able to say things sharp, quickly, short, sweet on the radio. Even if I wouldn't know the 10 calls, I would learn them. But yeah, just making it short and sweet.
I'm gonna go ahead and run you through a couple scenarios, see how you would act accordingly.
Okay.
All right. So here in the city, when a criminal robs a Fleeca bank or the Pacific Vault, us as LEOs are to gather the hostages. Once the criminals leave, we'll go in, breach and clear, make sure there's nobody left inside, as well as gather evidence. We are to also go into the vault, gather what evidence is there, and as well as close the vault door so the security system can go ahead and reset. So let's say
Yeah.
you and me were left there, we gathered the hostages, sent them on their way, none of them wanted rides. We breach and clear the bank, gather evidence from the lobby all the way down to the vault. We get into the vault, we breach and clear that, and on our way out, you and I, we see a stack of cash on the ground. On our way out, you see me pick up the wad of cash and stick it in my pocket as we're closing the vault door. Would you correct or even stop a fellow deputy, even one who is your superior, if you found him or her engaged in questionable or objectionable practices?
Yes. Without a shadow of a doubt.
What's your reasoning?
I would ask to see what you were doing first, because you never know. If obviously being left out of the vault and everything, see thousands of dollars sitting there, you might be picking it up to take it back to evidence or anything else. I wouldn't just pick it up and go, what the fuck do you think you're doing? Put it back down. I would ask you, are we taking that back to evidence and everything else? Making sure we're bag and tagging and you bag and tag it and everything, and see how you deal with it from there. If you were going to give it into evidence, bag it, tag it, evidence it, then fine, making sure it'd be on the reports and everything afterwards. But apart from that, I wouldn't question you. I would just ask, are we... It wouldn't be a question, it'd be more of a, are we taking that back to evidence sort of thing.
Okay. Alright, let's see. Thinking of another one. Let's say you and me, we were out patrolling in a Vic. I was FTOing you. Speed limit here in the city's 45. Let's say somebody comes speeding past us, 57 in the 45. We light them up, pull them over, we walk up to introduce ourselves, and as they're rolling down the window, they're already being belligerent, calling us names. We tried to take control of the situation, but just can't. We just can't do it. You see me growing increasingly frustrated, to a point where I say, alright, fuck it. Pull them out, man. We're gonna charge them with assault of a government official. Would you follow an order by a superior, even if you know it's against the regulations?
No, I would question it, definitely. I would pull you aside and see how your emotional state is first, and then see what your reasoning is behind it. Because obviously, if there was three would have to call for backup because we'd be outnumbered. But if there was two of them, I would have to get your reasoning behind it. So if we were to arrest them and your reasoning was correct, I would have to put that in my statement. So we'd have to make sure that not the statements match up, but we were arresting them for the right reasons.
Okay.
And then if I found out that you weren't in control of your emotions after that chat, I would sort of push you to the side, not in front of them, to muck with your power, with your rank. I would then try and do it myself, if you see what I'm saying.
Right.
Because obviously if you are highly strung at that point, it normally only goes downhill from there.
Okay. Last scenario, then I have one more question, and then we can go ahead and hit the ending of the interview. Let's say we were out patrolling again let's say we're gonna nab us another speeder. Okay. This time it's in a school zone. They're going 43. School speed limit is 25. We light them up. They pull over. This time you're going to take lead, so you walk to the driver's side. You ask them to roll down the window. Simon, oh my gosh, they rolled down the window. It's your grandmother. You gonna write your grandmother a speed ticket, Simon?
I mean, in the UK, if it was anyone we knew on a personal level, we would take a step back from this situation and let a colleague take over, because it was always a conflict of interest if it was family member, friends, because if that was the situation, most people, if they were dealing with it, sort of go, no, go, move, go away.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see you, which obviously is breaking the law in what we do. That's why I would take a step back and go, no, unfortunately I can't handle the situation. Walk back, let my colleague take over.
Okay. Last question, and then yeah, we'll hit with the ending of the interview. But I want you to tell me about a time or times when you had to deal with the public in a situation that became tense. How did you de-escalate the problem? What would you do differently? Or what would you do the same?
One of them was one of the ones I actually had to deal with in the UK was we kept getting called back for domestic violence, time and time and time again. And the reason that when I went there, I split them up to sort of de-escalate the situation right away, because if you can't see each other, they can't shout at each other, and normally when you get two angry people apart, they normally calm down pretty much instantly. I got the whole situation from each person, and gave my suggestion to each person, and I sent one on the way. And we have a thing called it's like ASBO in the UK. So we write them a ticket. They send them away for 48 hours. If they enter the area or the property in them 48 hours, they get a breach of the peace put against them, arrest them, and everything like that. So we normally put that on them. It wasn't a price ticket. It wasn't anything. It was just a piece of paper saying, look, you're going to stay away. This is the situation. You're staying away from this person for 48 hours. If we see you come back, or if we hear of you come back in them 48 hours, we're arresting you. And normally by then, it calmed down, and eventually the female that was talking to me, she wanted my help. I put a restraining order against the male, and that sort of diffused the whole situation, and funny enough, we never got called back there again.
Okay. So that's all the questions. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I always try and take that one extra step, because no one ever likes being left in the dark about things. So I always try and go that little bit of extra mile. Normally, everyone appreciates that little bit of extra mile.
Right. All right. Well, that's all the questions and scenarios I have for you. Do you have any questions or concerns for me?
No, none that can pop into my head.
Okie dokie.